What is up, you guys? Brooke here. It's time for my monthly wrap up for the month of August, and I'm gonna be frank, I didn't do a whole lot of stuff this month because I was really busy, but let's go ahead and wrap it up anyway. We're gonna talk about everything that I read, watched, and wrote in the month of August, so let's see what all I did. Let's go ahead and talk about everything that I had read this last month. So if you saw my last wrap up, which was in July, you would have seen that I was reading The Savior's Champion by Jenna Moreci. And oh boy howdy, that's a good one. That is a good read, and I finally finished it this month. Pretty sure I finished that the day after Camp NaNoWriMo ended, so I want to say like August 1st or 2nd, probably the 1st though, was whenever I finally finished TSC, The Savior's Champion, and boy was it kick-ass. That book just had it all. It had the action, the guts, the blood, the sweat and tears. I didn't cry in this book, but oh man, there were lots of moments of where whenever you're reading a really good book and your stomach is in knotted twists of anguish, that's what was going on for me during TSC. It was so good. I will go ahead and give it an A because I just really liked this book. There were a couple things that, well, I don't want to say things. There were just a couple things that I can't give it an official overall A+, but I don't want to say to spoil things. But oh my gosh, what a great read. Totally go check this book out because we need to just go ahead and support those indie authors out there. And Jenna is a wonderful self-published author. Go check it out. And that was the only book that I finished in August. I am currently reading 2 books as of right now. One of them being, which I talked about last month, which was Deathly Hallows. And where am I right now in that book? I'm on the part where Harry, Ron, and Hermione just jumped off the back of the dragon from escaping Gringotts. I almost said Gringotts. Gringotts Bank. Did I say I was reading this on audiobook? I'm reading this on audiobook in case I did not say that before. But yes, of course, Harry Potter's awesome. Can't give that an official grade yet. Even though I've read this book before, it's just kind of more fun to give a grade to something that I've finished. And then another book that I'm in the middle of reading right now is Twisted Fate by Jessie Elliott. I am in the middle of reading Twisted Fate right now by her. It's really great. I haven't read an urban fantasy in a long time, so it's been really nice having a book where I am reading about a fantasy world kinda-ish in the middle of a city. And so it's just like a new fresh read that I haven't had in a long time, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So that was everything that I pretty much read in the month of August, so now let's talk about everything that I've watched. Which is not a lot. I didn't do much watching of anything really this month of August, but I did watch a new show that I really have been enjoying. I'm not done with this show because it's on Hulu, and it's still like Hulu, whenever they have a show, instead of like showing all the episodes all at once, it's like every week there's a new show or a new episode that they show. And the one I'm watching right now is Castle Rock. If y'all don't know about Castle Rock, it's really an interesting show. It's not a fast-paced show, but you really have to just like go into it knowing it's going to be a slow burn. If the name Castle Rock rings a bell to you, it's probably because you've either read a Stephen King book or you've seen a Stephen King book adaptation into a movie. Because lots of his books take place in this town called Castle Rock, which is a town in Maine. And so this is a TV show where it's pretty much all about this town called Castle Rock, and it's in the universe of where all of Stephen King's books are connected. It's not so much Stephen King's characters that we are seeing, but it's more so these new characters that we are following and their storylines that we are following, and they're making references to lots of Stephen King books in some way. It's a very mysterious type of show. Like, there's always questions, like every answer that they give you, which isn't a solidified answer, it just like brings on like 5 new questions that you're like, what the crap? The pacing could be bumped up a notch, but I'm liking it overall. I know my dad and my brother aren't caring for it as much, but I'm enjoying it, and I can't give it an overall grade so far yet because the season is not done yet. I think there's like 4 or 3 more episodes to air before the first season's done, so I'll go ahead and give it an overall rating and score from me whenever everything is all aired. And then the second thing that I watched this month was a movie, but I didn't go see this movie in theaters. I saw this movie on Netflix, and that was To All the Boys I Loved Before. So I read the first 2 books of this series, and I also read part of the 3rd book. I kind of stopped reading the 3rd book because there was just so much going on in my life with YouTube and writing and whatnot, so I just kind of like stopped reading the 3rd book. But the first 2 books are so freaking good. Everything is so cute about this series, and watching it on screen, it was all the cuteness that I was looking forward to from what all I had read. Everything that they had translated to screen was so greatly done, and I liked how they didn't make this feel so much like a YA book translation onto film. I mean, they did. They made it feel like this was a movie meant for teenagers or high schoolers or whatever, but they also made it to where people who were in college or people in their 40s could enjoy it too. If I had to give a grade to all the boys I loved before, I would definitely give it an A because it was just so darling, and I just really, really enjoyed it. I don't think that they could have done anything better. I felt like they just nailed it. Would I give it an A+? I wouldn't give it an A+ because I thought the ending wasn't as climactic how it was in the book. I felt like in the book it was like, oh no, oh no! Whereas in the movie it was just kind of like, oh no. Does that make sense? Okay, so that was everything that I watched in the month of August. So now on to everything I wrote, which was not a lot. I didn't get much writing done, y'all. I think it's the whole curse of being the month after a NaNoWriMo month had taken place, because every time that I am like in full force mode during a NaNoWriMo month or a Camp Nano month, every month after that, I just want to take a break. I just don't really want to write as much anymore. And I did write, but it wasn't a lot. I honestly couldn't even tell you like how much I wrote. I probably wrote like 2,000 words in the month of August, which is not good. What I did do, kind of writing somewhat related during the month of August, which most of you probably know, is that I went on a writing retreat. I went on the Wonder Writers Retreat, which was so just joyous of an occasion. I just loved every single moment of meeting girls who we had all been talking for quite some time and were so excited to meet each other in person. And I just like had, even though I had wonderful expectations of meeting all these girls, I just like was floored by my expectations being so much greater than what I expected it all to be. We all just got along so well. Everyone was just so real with each other. Everyone was just so much themselves. We all got to know each other. I felt like really, really well. For the majority, most of those girls in that writing retreat were author tubers, and I was so stoked to go ahead and meet them in person because lots of them I had watched for either months or even years. But oh my gosh, I just think it was just like the coolest thing ever to go ahead and meet so many wonderful women who are writers, and we all just got to talk about writing, talk about AuthorTube. There were just so many passionate conversations that we had, and I just enjoyed every single minute of it. Oh my gosh. But alright, that was my reading, watching, and writing wrap up for the month of August. What all did you guys read and watch during this last month? And also, did you watch To All the Boys I Loved Before? Please let me know if you read that book or if you've watched that movie, because I want to know your thoughts on how darling that flick was. I said flick. I never say flick to describe a movie, huh? But if you like this video, feel free to give me a big thumbs up below, and also feel free to subscribe so that way you are notified on when I post new videos. And y'all should totally follow me on social media, where you can find me at _Brooke Passmore. That is where I'm at on the Twitters and the Instas. That was stupid. But yeah, thank you all so much for stopping by today, and I will see you next time. Bye!